Now, in the Democratic Republic of Congo, United Nations and Congolese officials say 4 civilians were killed on Monday by shelling in the border town of Bunagana. The fighting continues despite calls for a ceasefire from the leader of the M23 rebel group. Reporter Nick Long was in Bunagana on Sunday, and he joins us now to talk about the situation from Kigali in Rwanda. Hello, Nick, and thank you so much for joining us.
Hello, Ndimyake.
Glad that you're back safely in Kigali. Tell us what happened and what you saw when you were visiting this weekend.
I was on the Ugandan side of the border of Bunagana, where the M23 rebel movement, which is led by Congolese army mutineers, had its headquarters until last week. The town was captured by the Congolese army about 5 days ago, and at the time, although there wasn't fighting within the town itself, about 10,000 people are believed to have fled from the town and the surrounding area into Uganda. Many of them went back later, but on Sunday, when I was there, we could hear shell fire and mortar fire in the distance. And today it's reported that the M23 launched an attack towards Bunagana. But at the same time, there are also reports that the M23 has lost ground in other places. So the situation is very confused, and it's impossible to tell at the moment whether the M23 is still putting up much of a fight. The UN Refugee Agency is saying 10,000 people from the Bunagana area have crossed the border since Sunday.
Now, the Congolese army seems to be very successful. Thank you, Nick. The Congolese army seems to be very successful in really pushing out M23 and really launching this strong offensive against it. How are they able to do this? And you mentioned earlier some of the firepower that they have.
Yes, the army has been revamped in the past few months. About 80 senior officers were recalled to the capital, Kinshasa, some months ago for a seminar, and they haven't returned to the war zone, which is in North Kivu on the eastern border. And that removal of those senior officers has simplified the chain of command in eastern Congo. The army's logistics and rations seem to be better organized, and the senior officers who've taken over, General Bauma Ambanda as the field commander in North Kivu, and the overall commander, General Olenga, have both earned reputations for more competence than their predecessor, particularly General Amisi, who was at the end of last year kicked upstairs, accused of giving weapons to armed groups, although he hasn't yet faced charges. The United Nations peacekeeping force has also made a major contribution. They've deployed a 3,000 intervention brigade in North Kivu, made up of Tanzanian, South African and Malawian troops who have a stronger mandate than the other UN peacekeepers, an unprecedentedly strong mandate for a UN peacekeeping force, although the other 17,000 UN peacekeepers who were already there before that intervention brigade arrived in May, they've also been engaged in the combat. The Indian Army helicopters have been attacking M23 positions. The new head of the UN mission, Martin Kobler, and the new UN general in Congo, Alberto dos Santos Cruz, have also a reputation for vigorously pursuing their objectives, and they seem to have made a difference too. The other major difference from last year, when the rebels briefly seized the major city of Goma on the DRC-Rwanda border, is that in this latest fighting, the Rwandan army is not reported to have helped the M23. Rwanda has always vigorously denied allegations that it's been helping the M23, but it has had aid cut or suspended over suspicions of help to the M23 in the past year. But in this latest fighting, no reports of the Rwandan army helping the M23.
Okay, well, Nick, thank you so much for that very comprehensive report. We have run out of time. That was reporter Nick Long, reporter from Kigali in Rwanda.